car doors and cardboard boxes, TV sets and table frames, plywood chairs and parcel post, utility meters and steering wheels. Whatever it is, if it has to be moved by conveyor, it's moved most efficiently by Bridgeveyor. The unique Bridgeveyor overhead conveyor system. Today you'll find Bridgeveyor systems at work in hundreds of installations in Canada, across the United States, in Great Britain, in Europe, and in Asia. And the list of Bridgeveyor customers reads like a who's who of industry. Ford, Volvo, Sangamo, Northern Telecom, Canadian General Electric, Seagram's, Rolls-Royce, Chrysler, Sklar, Canadian International Paper, Black & Decker, Electrolux. The list goes on and on. The success of the Bridgeveyor system, the reason why it has been accepted by so many major companies on an international scale, begins with two basic facts. First is the concept itself. The concept of an overhead conveyor system as compared to any other method of moving materials and products from one point to another. This overhead concept saves you valuable floor space. It can be applied to virtually any industry, from the biggest manufacturer to the smallest plant. And it handles all types of materials, through all kinds of processes, so efficiently, in fact, that most systems pay for themselves in the first year. The second advantage of the Bridgeveyor system is its unique design. It's a modular system, so simple to install that a customer's own personnel can readily set it up and get it running. It features a unique enclosed track. Chain and bearing surfaces are protected from contamination, dirt, paint, chemicals. This means less maintenance and longer life, and a better return on investment. The enclosed track also eliminates the need for idler wheels and sprockets on corners. Again, lower costs and less maintenance. And thanks to this enclosed design with no corner sprockets, the risk of injury to plant workers is eliminated. Flexibility is important too. Horizontal curves can have standard radius from 36 inches all the way down to 9 inches, so processing tanks, ovens, or freezers can be reduced in size. Special curve sizes are available to order, and many combinations of turns, horizontal and vertical, can be built into your system to make it practical in even the tightest space. Now, how about load capacity? The Bridgeveyor system comfortably handles up to 50 pounds to each pendant. You can double each load to as much as 100 pounds by coupling 2 pendants, or take 200-pound loads by using 4 pendants. So the system's able to handle just about any job you ask of it, right up to a total of 30,000 pounds on a 600-foot system with just one drive. Now look closely at the carriers themselves. They're designed to suit each and every application. Indexing carriers for painting, for example. S-hooks. Rotating carriers. Automatic drop-off units. Custom designs to suit your needs. Whatever the material, Bridgeveyor can handle it. Power for the Bridgeveyor system comes from this dependable straight-line Caterpillar D400 drive unit with a chain speed range of up to 80 feet per minute. The drive can be positioned on any straight section of track, wherever most convenient for service and maintenance, as long as it's at the highest possible point. When track length exceeds the capacity of one drive unit, multiple drives can readily be installed, equally spaced through the system. Forward, reverse, variable speed, even automatic programming by computer. All these control options can be built into the Bridgeveyor system. Again, flexibility is the objective. And now still another outstanding feature of the Bridgeveyor overhead conveyor, the take-up assembly. Positioned following the drive unit, the take-up maintains a uniform chain tension throughout the system, even where the chain is exposed to the heat of ovens or the cold of freezers. The results, a smooth, free chain flow and minimal operating headaches down the road. So this is the Bridgeveyor conveyor system. Economical, flexible, dependable, and proven for efficiency in literally hundreds of applications. So, only one key question remains. Can Bridgeveyor work for you? The answer's yes. Whether you're looking for process handling, mobile storage, finishing systems, materials transportation, or interdepartmental delivery. It all starts with a Bridgeveyor expert analyzing your operation and your needs. Volume, speed, type of materials, length of system, clearances, environment, plant configuration. Every detail, right down to chain pull factors, is studied, assessed, then taken into account in the design recommendation. Once the costs have been approved, working drawings are produced and agreed on. The prefabrication of the system components is carried out using our unique bolt-together construction to save you time and money at the site. Finally comes the installation itself, by Bridgeveyor technicians or by your own plant personnel. Whichever method you decide on, you're protected by a full 1-year warranty on every component in the system. So, whatever your industry, whatever your need, look to Bridgeveyor to move your materials better. Bridgeveyor, Canada's #1 overhead conveyor system. For proof, let's look at a variety of actual Bridgeveyor installations. Bridgeveyor conveyors have been installed in many of the major postal facilities across Canada. In the Canada Post Gateway Depot in Mississauga, as well as the South Central Depot in Toronto, the Bridgeveyor conveyor system has been operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, problem-free since 1976. At the receiving docks, mail designated for one of Gateway's 36 sorting stations is placed on a floor dolly and moved by conveyor into a monorail system. These flat carts are programmed prior to being fed to the monorail. The coding is done using easily adjusted sliding pins, which engage limit switches to activate the Bridgeveyor conveyor at the required station or truck loading platform. Bridgeveyor has specially designed metal frame carriers which allow plastic tote boxes to move freely through various angles and 45-degree curves found throughout the long multi-level system inside the Gateway Depot. Tough layout requirements within the plant were no problem for the Bridgeveyor engineers, as use of tight radius horizontal and vertical curves move the conveyor around any obstacle. Since no corner sprockets are necessary, working conditions are made even safer for employees. Wire mesh is suspended beneath the conveyor to meet Canada Post safety requirements. The drive unit provides a smooth, uninterrupted conveyor flow throughout the system. The Bridgeveyor conveyor system has increased productivity and provided Canada Post with years of trouble-free service. The Bridgeveyor conveyor system has been operating successfully in this Lilly Cup plant since 1982. The key to the success of this overhead conveyor is the valuable floor space left available for other requirements in the plant. Since the conveyor allows the worker to handle only individual boxes rather than bundles as previously required, working conditions have become even safer. The 1,100-foot system moves around corners and negotiates horizontal and vertical curves and inclines with ease, transporting cartons from one department to another. The numbers positioned on top of each hanger indicate which size and type of carton is required, and the operator can easily attach the box to the specially designed carrier hooks. The smooth and uninterrupted chain flow uses two drive units, which are synchronized automatically by the control box. The speed of the conveyor can be easily adjusted to suit the required production rate. The take-up units, which maintain an even tension of the chain, use a standard 36-inch radius, allowing the cartons to move easily around the turn and proceed through the doors in the ceiling. Where applicable, the conveyor is conveniently attached to the underside of the roof trusses, requiring no bracing and minimizing the number of steel hangers required to suspend the conveyor. The Bridgeveyor conveyor has been operating within Lilly Cups throughout various shifts since 1982. It's been determined such a success that our overhead conveyor system is now being considered by other Lilly Cup plants. The Matsushita Company of Canada installed the Bridgeveyor conveyor system in 1978 to increase productivity on their television cabinet assembly line. The original conveyor system was over 1,800 feet long, and over the years the company has added 3 additional conveyor lines, each powered by its own drive unit and totaling almost 4,000 feet of conveyor. The cabinet transfer line is 770 feet long. This conveyor automatically picks up TV cabinets from the cabinet assembly conveyor and moves them on specially designed rotating carriers up to the next floor, where they are placed on a storage conveyor. Conveyor number 2 is the cabinet finishing line and runs a total length of 2,300 feet. The TV cabinets are moved through 5 spray booths on rotating carriers, which ensure smooth and even painting. After painting, the cabinets travel on the conveyor through an oven, which bakes the paint for 12 minutes at 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Exiting the oven, the conveyor moves the cabinets by automatic transfer to accumulation storage. Bridgeveyor's unique design minimized the surging factor in this 1/2 mile system and ensures a steady, even flow of the conveyor. The 400-foot paint line in conveyor number 3 is used for painting plastic parts used in the cabinets. Each rotating carrier carries 2 plastic parts through a fog tunnel, where the parts are sprayed with a water-soluble conductive solution, making the plastic conductive before it's painted. The conveyor and the carrier hooks are both grounded. The parts now enter a Runsberg paint booth. The paint is charged at 100,000 volts and is sprayed on the hanging parts by a high-speed rotating disc which moves up and down the length of the plastic part. The painted parts are conveyed through an infrared oven for final curing. This ceiling-mounted oven is used for the paint drying of conveyors 3 and 4. Conveyor number 4 is the mask decorating line and is 500 feet long. It moves the plastic frames of the TV cabinets past 5 spray paint booths. Each spray operator removes the particular part he paints, fits it in the painting fixture, and places the painted part back on the conveyor, where they are moved to the infrared oven for drying. Bridgeveyor's enclosed track design is able to protect the chain and bearings from paint, chemicals, and ovens. The Bridgeveyor conveyor system has increased the overall efficiency at Panasonic so that their normal production rate has now exceeded 1,200 cabinets during each 8-hour shift. Bridgeveyor conveyor systems use an enclosed track design in which the conveyor track is able to move through corrosive chemicals, paint, and dust with complete protection. The success of this design can be seen in large automotive factories such as Chrysler and Citroën. This Chrysler factory in Ontario supplies automobile door parts and panels to Chrysler plants in Canada and the United States. Valuable floor space is left available for other uses, such as packaging and assembly stations, as the automotive parts are carried through the plant on the overhead conveyor. At Chrysler, the conveyor system operates 5 days a week during 2 8-hour shifts each day. The large door panels are conveyed easily around tight curves and steep inclines as they move by each required assembly station. The conveyor moves at a smooth, steady rate of speed, and the predetermined pace can be adjusted according to production needs. The Bridgeveyor conveyor system has been operating successfully in the Chrysler factory since 1983. The Citroën plant in Concord, Ontario, manufactures car doors, fenders, and hoods for such companies as Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler. The 1,500-foot conveyor moves at a predetermined production speed of 20 feet per minute. Citroën uses a multi-drive conveyor system with an electronic shear pin overload protection feature. The parts are conveyed through a 5-stage zinc phosphate wash and rinse cycle and then travel for 14 minutes in a 350-degree dry-off tunnel. The conveyor moves the parts from the tunnel to a dip tank where the parts are completely immersed in a primer coat of paint. These painted parts are baked as they travel through a finishing oven to complete their cycle. The Bridgeveyor system has improved safety conditions in plants such as Chrysler and Citroën, as well as increasing overall production. Chosen because of its quiet, clean, and smooth operation, the Bridgeveyor conveyor system has been operating in Sangamo's Toronto plant since 1982. Supplying the Canadian market with electrical meters, Sangamo had the overhead conveyor system installed to improve the plant's overall efficiency. 4 conveyors operate throughout the Sangamo plant. On the final test and assembly conveyor, the meter parts are conveyed throughout the plant in a unique product carrier which was specially designed to suit Sangamo's needs. The vertical curves designed use a small radius which make it possible for the conveyor to dip down to individual workstations and then elevate back up and out of the way, freeing valuable floor space. These carriers continually circulate on the overhead conveyor, and operators at assembly stations remove various parts for testing. When the tested parts meet all of Sangamo's requirements, they are placed back on the product carrier in the specified slot and move on to the next station of assembly. The parts supply conveyor for meter assembly is 792 feet long and circulates 396 carriers. It provides assembly stations with a constant supply of meter parts. The die-cast conveyor moves parts from the die-cast department on specially designed carriers, which automatically drops the casted parts into a vibrator. The vibrator is full of sand and moves at an accelerated rate, smoothing and polishing the parts so that they are ready for assembly. A safety shut-off line has been installed along the length of each conveyor for the convenience of the operators. The conveyor track easily supports the wire mesh protecting the workers below. The Bridgeveyor conveyor, designed to meet all of Sangamo's production requirements, was installed quickly and easily. The prefabrication of the conveyor system eliminates the need for any welding during installation. right and left-hand threaded rods provide a turnbuckle for ease of leveling track during installation. Beam clamps adjust to different sized beams, and track hanger clamps are used for easy hanging and bracing of the conveyor track. The ease of design adaptability is evident throughout the Sangamo plant. The Bridgeveyor conveyor system has been operating in this Sargent's plant since 1979. The company plates industrial parts for doors and required Bridgeveyor to design a special carrier to move the door parts efficiently and easily. At the loading station, the parts to be plated are placed on the carrier, which is conveyed up a 45-degree incline to a door in the ceiling. In the plating room, the conveyor returns to floor level, allowing the operator to easily remove the racks. Several racks are placed on a rack hoist, which moves the racks down to plating tanks. When the plating process has been completed, the racks are then placed back onto the conveyor, where they proceed to the unloading and packaging station. The conveyor moves at a slow speed for the safety of the workers handling the parts. Bridgeveyor installed a safety wire mesh to protect the operators against any falling parts. The Reliance SCR variable speed control allows the conveyor's speed and direction to be changed manually. The enclosed track design protects the chain from the chemicals encountered during the plating process at the Sargent plant. The Sargent's company has found that the Bridgeveyor conveyor has enabled their production capacity to handle any increases in production demands. Curve Ply, Canada's largest manufacturer of curved plywood products, installed the Bridgeveyor conveyor system in 1980. Curve Ply uses two separate conveyor tracks for finishing, loading, and unloading purposes. One is 800 feet long and the other 400 feet, both moving at 6 feet per minute. After being loaded on the specially designed carrier, the various wooden parts are sprayed with sealers or lacquers. Indexing carriers enable the operator to easily rotate the parts, ensuring a smooth, even coating. The enclosed track design protects the conveyor chain and bearings from contamination by varnish and dust. Once sprayed, the parts travel through an oven where they are dried and baked at 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Large racks designed by Bridgeveyor to meet Curve Ply's unique needs are moved easily along the conveyor system and through the tight turn in the oven. The double four-pendant carriers enable the conveyor to move weights of up to 400 pounds. Due to the low profile of the Series 250 conveyor, the oven size could be reduced considerably, saving Curve Ply space and costs. Prefabrication of the conveyor also saved Curve Ply time in installation, as no overhead welding was required. The overhead conveyor system leaves valuable floor space available for the large packing materials required at Curve Ply. Two Bridgeveyor conveyor systems operate within the Scheller Globe plant in Brampton, Ontario, where steering wheels are manufactured for major North American automobile companies. The systems are 700 feet long and operate side by side. They have been operating successfully since 1979, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. During this time, Scheller Globe has repositioned and added equipment to their plant, requiring Bridgeveyor to change the flow of the conveyor several times. This was done easily and quickly because of the standardization design of the conveyor track connections. After passing by 3 loading stations, the parts are conveyed through an emulsifier spray tunnel. They then pass through a 150-degree 4-stage wash and rinse cycle and move on to a deionization water rinse and drying tunnel. The steering wheels are automatically rotated by a V-belt coming in contact with the rotating carriers as the parts are moved in front of the spray guns. The parts then move up a 45-degree incline and pass through a 450-degree oven installed on the roof of the plant. The steering wheels are then conveyed back down to floor level for the finishing coat of paint and returned to the oven for final baking. The finished steering wheels decline to floor level for easy unloading and packing. A variable speed drive allows Scheller Globe to adjust the conveyor speed to meet their production requirements. The Bridgeveyor conveyor system was designed to suit the specific production requirements found at Scheller Globe and has increased their overall efficiency and production rate. The Ontario Robotics Centre in Peterborough uses the Bridgeveyor conveyor to move various parts past an industrial spray paint robot. The Bridgeveyor conveyor is able to interface with all industrial robots. The variable speed controller enables one operator to adjust the speed or direction of the conveyor according to production requirements. The enclosed track design protects the moving chain from paint and chemicals. The design of the drive unit and take-up assembly allows the conveyor chain to maintain an accurate pitch while minimizing the stretch factor. Easy installation and quiet, smooth operation make the Bridgeveyor conveyor ideal for all of the Robotics Centre's needs. In 1976, Bridgeveyor installed their overhead conveyor system in the Canadian dust control plant. One conveyor system is able to handle all of the plant's requirements as it moves soiled carpets at a low speed through a wash and dry cycle. Exiting the washer, the carpets are moved to an unloading area where workers remove the carpets from the conveyor. Specially designed carrier hangers enable the operators to load and unload the carpets easily. The conveyor uses two drive units which are synchronized by a single V1600 remote variable speed AC controller contained in one cabinet. This facilitates load sharing for two or more D400 drive units located separately within a continual strand of Bridgeveyor chain, all of which are individually protected from any jamming situation with the use of an instantaneous trip relay or shear pin protection. Daily production output at the plant has been substantially increased by the use of a double-tier conveyor line. This line moves through 180-degree turns with very tight 16-inch radii within the dryer enclosure. This conveyor line design has allowed completion of the day's work to be reduced by as much as 3 hours from the usual 8 hours as in the past. The conveyor system has also eliminated the use of costly industrial washers and dryers, which were found to be slow as well as costly to maintain. At the Woodhill Garden Centre in Toronto, the Bridgeveyor overhead conveyor is used as an eye-catching display unit. Installed in 1980, the conveyor moves a variety of plants along the length of the store for customers to view. The Garden Centre has found that as well as increasing their sales, the conveyor allows more floor space for indoor plants and can be used as an automatic watering device. Retail outlets appreciate the Bridgeveyor conveyor because of its smooth, clean, and quiet operation. The enclosed track allows the conveyor to move delicate plants without any chance of the plants touching a moving chain. The bright yellow paint enhances the conveyor and makes it highly visible from the outside. Retail outlets have found that a Bridgeveyor conveyor system not only saves them valuable floor space, but labor as well. In this Cadet Cleaner store in Toronto, the Bridgeveyor conveyor has been moving dry cleaning since 1983. Cadet has found that mobile storage enables them to store more clothing and decrease their space requirements by 50% with the complete elimination of aisle space. The overhead conveyor requires only one operator. The clothes can be moved directly in front of the operator by use of a variable speed controller, which also offers a forward and reverse motion. This permits the operator to call for the customer's order from the nearest direction and thereby minimize the waiting time for the operator. The Bridgeveyor's flexible conveyor chain moves within an enclosed track, protecting personnel from coming in contact with a moving chain. Because the track design is so flexible, it can adapt to any store layout, including any required inclines or declines. Prefabrication of the conveyor makes the bolt-together installation simple and clean and easily changed to suit any new layout requirements. The Bridgeveyor SR306 multiple storage rack has a built-in carrying capacity of 10 garments for each running foot of conveyor. This system offers maximum use of the entire length of the conveyor, and because of its special swivel connector, the conveyor can operate at maximum efficiency on a single plane or on multiple elevation levels. The Kinetics plant in Rexdale, Ontario manufactures tubular frame furniture for industrial use. The plant uses 2 Bridgeveyor conveyors which have been operating for 4 years. The finishing line conveyor is 400 feet long and can move at speeds ranging from 2 to 6 feet per minute. The first operation that the parts pass through is a degreaser, which is a single-stage washer using an iron phosphate wash heated to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, where the parts are dried and heated in preparation for the powder spray coating stage. After being sprayed with an electrostatic powder, the parts travel through a 60-foot-long bake oven heated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. The conveyor makes a 5-foot-wide loop and extends 84 feet into the production and storage area where the parts are loaded and unloaded. The second conveyor moves the finished parts from the storage area to assembly stations. This conveyor is 300 feet in length and moves quickly at 47 feet per minute. The specially designed carriers move the large furniture frames easily around the curves and inclines found throughout the Kinetics plant. Traveling within an enclosed track, the conveyor negotiates corners without the use of sprockets, creating safe working conditions for the hands-on work required at Kinetics. The speed of each track can be adjusted to meet production requirements. The Bridgeveyor conveyors within the Kinetics plant have improved safe working conditions and increased plant efficiency.